If COVID never happened, what all world have you done in on past 4 months? My wife and I are opera singers. This year was our big breakout year. A good number of contracts with very reputable opera houses that would take us to the next level. We were gonna buy a house. All of our contracts for the next 18 were cancelled, and we won't be singing anytime soon, since most companies have closed. We've shifted careers at this point, or at least are trying to. I was scheduled to start my 6-week residential PTSD program in May. It is now closed indefinitely. Lost my father late April. I imagine I'd still be able to speak with him now if no virus. I would spent my 6 months exploring Mexico during my gap year, actually exploring Mexico rather than every corner of my apartment in Mexico. About the same thing, except I would have had my mom to joke around with. Now I joke to myself while her urn sits on a shelf in the living room corner. I would have gotten to go through my senior year of high school with her being there by my side in a literal sense. I would have no money at all, but no amount of money social security can give me will ever be worth losing my mom at 17. I feel awful about those who are younger than me, that are going through the same situation as me. I would have gotten my tooth surgery done and over with. I beat cancer last year. This was supposed to be my fuck cancer travel year, before going back to work. In April I was taking my dad to Iceland with me for a nerd convention. After that, I was going to take our 4x4 truck and spend 3 or more on the road, visiting national parks, museums, sightseeing, camping. I just some West Coast in Feb to mid-March. I've stayed home since mid-March. Obligatory award edit. Holy beans, my first silver. Thank you kind sir / ma'am. Obligatory award edit 2. I just woke up and a kind stranger sent this lurker a gold. You too, sir / ma'am are too kind. I would have hopefully passed my driving test. I failed it in March and weeks later COVID hit the UK. Haven't driven since. I'm not even sure I remember how to drive. Quite honestly nothing. I'd still be working and saving all the money I can. I guess if there was one thing that would have changed, is that my small business wouldn't have been forced to shut down. But come Monday I'm back open. The only difference is that we played D&D over Roll20/Discord instead of in person. Edit. A lot of people are asking how to find a group and the answers from other users keep getting buried. So here you go. Roll20 apparently has a group finding function and a lot of people suggest r/LFG. Hope this helps. Was supposed to go to Burning Cat, using the vacation for my dad's funeral instead. I hate 2020. I would have had to work only 40 hours a week instead of the 70 that I have. The stupid clients assume that, since people are at home and under the fear of losing their jobs, we can overwork them to insanity. Honestly about the same thing. Edit. I feel accomplished, thanks. I would have taken a kick-ass trip to Japan, which would have been way outside of my budget. Would have gone to a taping of American Ninja Warrior, gone ziplining in Indiana, traveled to Iceland. Gotten married as planned. I would have got married today. I was supposed to go to Paris and Amsterdam in mid-March, that got cancelled. I took Sketch 101 and 201 at UCB in fall and winter. I probably would have signed up for 301. A few of my friends' birthdays have passed. We probably would have done day trips or gone away for the weekend for those. Oh, and I would have been working this whole time instead of collecting unemployment. I would have some of the vision that I lost because I spent months trying to find an ophthalmologist that would see me after I started going blind. That would be cool. But now I get to learn some interesting new skills like find a new career that can be done when legally blind and don't walk into things that you can't see. It's an adventure. Edit. Thanks everyone for all of the replies and internet points. It's been the highlight of my weekend being able to share and get such positive feedback. I needed that pick me up. I would have gotten a full-time job at my internship after graduating. but they lost too much money during COVID to justify hiring me. Edit. Jesus Christmas. This comment did well. Thanks to everyone for sharing your stories. I got a job after graduating, but not everyone is as lucky. I moved to New York City in February, a few weeks before the lockdown started. I had a whole binder of things I wanted to see and do and a job I was excited about. But I got laid off as soon as things got started and everything I wanted to do became impossible, and some of it is probably never coming back. I would have been taking the train to every station, catching impromptu shows, hunting down the best open mix, trying to pin down the best pizza and burger, putting together a D&D group, and traveling to other parts of the Northeasterners that I've always wanted to see. I had big plans for this year, and I'm so heartbroken that all I've experienced is an endless chorus of sirens. I would have hugged my mum every day instead of not hugging her for 4 months. Before COVID hit, I accepted a job across the country being a rock climbing instructor for a Boy Scout camp. I put in my notice, moved in with my BF's family for the few weeks leading up to moving to the camp. Everything fell through. Lost the old job and the new one never started. Moved out of the house I was renting. Drained my savings in the move and subsequent months. Now I've started courses online, realized I love tech and fixing tech, lost 20 pounds, and my BF and I are planning to start living on the road full time, RV life. Life has never gone the way I planned. Not once, but I'm kind of happy with what I'm aiming for now. I had a big ol' lump of cash put aside for a cross-country USA trip via Fiji. Was gonna plan on visiting my family in the UK before heading back to Oz when I was done too. This is totally off now, but on the plus side, that chunk of money is also why I'm able to get through all this mayhem. It's particularly fortuitous as my industry, kitchen work, is taking quite the hammering at the moment. Would have kept my job, gotten a raise, a sizable bonus, moved out of my parents' house, and ultimately taken my plunge into independence. Edit. To whichever kind soul gave me platinum, thank you, it's my first ever award. Now how can I spend this on weed? I would have continued working 60+ hours a week at a job I hate, getting paid a pittance, instead of focusing on what makes me happy. I've taken that time to write my first novel. I'm a month away from completing my first draft. Honestly, I'd probably just find something else to complain about. COVID caused me to pick up golf, and I found not only a hidden talent, but a hidden love. I would not be alive. I was planning to commit suicide. I would have been dead before the lockdown, but when everything shut down I had met someone, and I immediately felt comfortable around them, and I was able to vent and release years of bottled up emotions, and she helped me work through things one at a time, which started giving me hope that maybe I'm worth something. Edit. Wow, I did not know replies can get this overwhelming. There are so many. Thank you all for the kind words. I don't have many positives, so this helps. Take my Vietnamese girlfriend to Vietnam for 2 weeks. She hasn't been there since she was 5 years old, and proposed to her. Thanks COVID. P.S. I proposed here in the States anyway. She said yes. I'd be in Norway on vacation this very moment. I suppose the bright side of COVID is the huge amount of PTO I will have saved by next year. We were supposed to take our kids to Disney World in April. We've been saving and planning for that trip for 2 years. Trips to California, Bali and Spain. I'd have woken up on my birthday in Yosemite National Park and gone to sleep in Napa Valley. I freaking hate COVID. I thought the 12 months previous to March were shit. Saved up some money and planned on taking his first vacation with our son. Had the summer planned for stuff before he went into kindergarten. Update. We found him a used bike for his birthday and he is really proud of it. The summer still has another month it. Making the most of what is left of it. I would have planned prom, helped with graduation, had lots of game nights with friends, and I would be planning lots of stuff for senior year since I'm the senior class president. I would already taken the SAT and IDK what else, but I would have been so much happier. Wouldn't have had to leave my university. Would have gotten to spend 3 months with a guy that makes me really happy. Probably would have been my boyfriend at this point without COVID. I was in the process of switching schools, so I had to miss the end of my last year there, and I'm missing the beginning of my year at the new school. If I had gotten those last months, I would have been able to say goodbye to all of my friends and have time to make new friends before I graduate this year. Defended my PhD in person, walked at my graduation, had my family at said graduation, played softball weekly, seen friends, gone camping and hiking with friends, gotten my car fixed, probably would have a different job. Also, traveled to visit my dad and my BF's family. Probably wouldn't have lost as much weight though. Asterisk go to the San Diego County Fair 2 times. Asterisk go to San Diego Comic Con all 4 days. Asterisk see some movies in theaters. Asterisk have more in-person drive appointments instead of phone appointments.